Welcome again to our webinar, The Affordable Care Act, What Individuals, Families, and Small Businesses Need to Know. My name is Lourdes Macavinta with Wealth Management Financial Advisors, here to present Marie Deary, Senior Financial Advisor here at Wealth Management. Good morning, Marie.
Good morning, Lourdes. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you all for joining us today. I hope that the information that you are about to receive will shed some light on the Affordable Care Act. The Affordable Health Care laws as we know it today have a tremendous impact on health care, the economy, and the American family, as well as business today. I will focus a lot today on the businesses, the impact on businesses and employees. In the first slide, however, we'll just go through some of the basic questions that you may have that I have provided some answers to. The companies that you see online on this slide are companies that the healthcare law and use. These are some of the companies that will be providing healthcare benefits to most Americans today. The new healthcare law, as we know it, will ensure that all Americans have equal access to affordable health care. It will create, as you see on the slide, a new regulated marketplace. This is the marketplace it's actually a virtual marketplace that all Americans can go online and select the kind of care that they can purchase. It will also improve Medicare by helping seniors and people with disabilities afford their prescription drugs. It will also provide or prohibit the denial of coverage to existing care. So take, for instance, if you or one of your loved ones let's say, was diagnosed with cancer, let's say, the insurance company can no longer deny coverage to that individual. It will also help young people stay on their parents' health care until the age of 26. And so these are just some of the benefits and how the law will change as it applies to the health care benefits that we are looking at today. Why we arrive at the place that we are today? Again, we're going to focus more on small business and also on big business versus small business. Prior to this act, small business pay an average of 18% more than big business for the same coverage. That is going to change. Insurance companies took advantage of and discriminate against over 120 million Americans with pre-existing conditions. That will change as we know it today. Over 50 million Americans were uninsured, and tens of millions more underinsured. That will change as we know it today. The health care law was signed into place by President Obama in March of 2010, making it illegal for any type of discrimination in the healthcare market. What the law means for you, I have put together some questions that can be answered. It saves small business money through tax credit. It helps businesses find better coverage options, build on employee-based insurance, stop insurance companies from taking advantage of you, and make healthcare more affordable. Who qualifies? Businesses and non-profits with 25 or fewer employees. Employees an average wage of $50,000 or less, which means that your total employee wages for the year, an average of $50,000 or less. The minimum tax credit is roughly 35% of the cost to cover the 50% in 2014, which means that by 2014, the max credit will be roughly 50%. Today, it is roughly 30%. The tax credit is available on a sliding scale. Businesses with 10 or few part-time, full-time employees averaging wages below 25,000 will receive full credit. If you are a small business and your employee, let's say the average cost for your employee in 2010 was $11,000, you can see through the tax credit how much you can save. Over $2,000 you can save in your 2013 tax returns. What does it really mean for the average family? Employer pays a certain percentage each year to cover their employee benefits. If the company has more than 50 employees, the Health Care Act will not be implemented until 2014. The same applies to if the employer has 50 or more full-time employee, it does not apply to them until 2014. Beginning in 2014, small business owners will be able to shop for affordable health care for their employees through the insurance exchange, which means that for the companies that were previously shown, you can pretty much go online and shop for the best health care for your employees. And as we go down with the slides, you will see the difference, what exactly is the exchange, and how you can take advantage of providing healthcare insurance for your employees. Patient's Bill of Rights, it protects individuals from illegal activities in the past by insurance companies. They can no longer deny coverage to children because of pre-existing conditions, and that is children or adults. It will put a lifetime cap on how much you will pay if you get sick, and they can no longer cancel you because you got sick or make your payments unaffordable. They can no longer prevent you or charge you excessive fees for the various coverage, cancer, vaccination, birth control. These are all of services now that will be available under the Affordable Care Act. Before the Affordable Health Care Act, most insurance companies spend most of their money on marketing and CEO salaries. Today, it's the 80-20 rule. They have to spend 80% of their budget on reaching and caring and educating the public versus spending the 60-40 on CEO compensation or on marketing. Analysts around the country have already seen where the 80-20 rule is working and is benefiting the average American. So this is already working for most Americans. If you already have health care insurance, it means that when you received your packet in the mail in the month of October, or most people will see it in the month of November, a lot of the benefits will already be included in your packet. And if you already have insurance, you can now go into the marketplace and compare the insurance that you presently have with what's available in the marketplace. And you can also make a choice in saying that if you do not wish to partake in the marketplace, you can keep the coverage that you presently have. The advantage of this is that you will already benefit from the new healthcare laws because your insurance company can no longer discriminate against you because of a pre-existing condition. So maybe a year ago or 2 years ago, you did not want to switch your insurance company or could not switch your insurance company because you will not be accepted, with this new insurance company because of a pre-existing condition. So take, for instance, if you were thinking of going to to, let's say, Blue Cross of California to another healthcare provider, before you could not go to that new healthcare provider because you would be considered uninsurable because of the pre-existing condition. Today, you can make that choice in going to a new provider or staying with the provider that you have, knowing that they can no longer discriminate against you. The Affordable Health Care laws, before insurance companies can raise your premium, and today, depending on the state that you are in, they cannot raise your premium more than 10%. Whereas in the past, they can raise it to whatever number that benefits them. They can no longer do that today. The new health care laws were built on the private health insurance system, and so it gives it more flexibility, and it also gives states more flexibility to implement the path that they identify to accomplish the same goal. So what that says is that takes the state of California. In California, we have the coverage that we have in California is covered California. So within covered California, they can make the changes needed to best fit the California population. Again, what is the Affordable Insurance Exchange? It is a virtual place that you go to purchase the insurance that best fit for you and your family and your small business. By 2014, all states will have an exchange. And again, the states can tailor the exchange to fit the local market. And like I said before, what is the Health Insurance Exchange? The Health Exchange, again, it is a virtual market. Insurance plan is sold online or on the phone or in person. Individuals can go online and purchase insurance that best fits their needs. The same thing applies to small business, can now go online and purchase insurance for business owners or employees of that business. Again, the shop is a competitive insurance marketplace where you can purchase insurance based on your particular needs for your small company. Okay, so let's assume that you're a small business owner and you have 50 or less employees. At this present time, 2014, the law have given you an extension that you do not have to comply until 2015. And so if you're a small company, you are eligible for a tax credit of up to 50% of the premium payment if you have 25 or fewer employees. You get a tax credit. So if you are a small business, you are now in a position where you can offer health insurance to your employees. And doing so, again, they can go to the marketplace. But you may be asking at this point, what if the individual already have insurance? If they already have insurance and they like the insurance that they have, they really do not have to do anything. If they want to go into the marketplace and compare coverage, that is an advantage for the individual. The individual cannot afford health care. Based on the federal poverty guidelines, if the individual is making $15,000 or less, health care will be provided to that employee or to that individual under Medicare. Again, if you cannot afford insurance because you make too little, which is below $16,000 a year, free coverage will be provided. If you do not participate in the health insurance plan, as of March 2014, you will be penalized. You will be penalized in your 2014 taxes. There is a fee. It's probably, for an adult, it could be $95 for an adult, and for a child, it could be somewhere right around $50. If you do not participate if you do not purchase health insurance as we know it today. This is why we are here. If you can see the numbers on the screen, if you look at the number of people that are either uninsured or underinsured, African Americans 21%, Hispanic 51%, whites 12%. So which means that for most of those people who are uninsured, the people that are insured is the ones who are paying the bills for the ones that are not insured. At this time, I will open it up for questions. If you have any questions, I will be more than happy. I think I'm better at answering the questions then. So if you have any questions at this time, I will take them.
Thank you for that, Marie. At this time, I am going to be opening it up for questions. We have a few coming in online, so let's start with a question coming from Culver City. As a small business owner, am I required to provide my employees, 8 employees total, with health insurance? And is there a penalty if I do not provide coverage? And what is that question, or what is that penalty?
Okay, if you are an employer and dependent on how many employees you have, the laws applied only if you have 50 or more employees. If you have less than 50 or less than 25 full-time employees, you do not necessarily have to participate in 2014. You have a break until 2016 where you have to provide health care for your employees. Again, so if you have employees if your number is less than 50, you do not have to apply in 2014, but you must provide the health care by 2015, 2016.
Great. Thank you for that. I have a question coming in from Los Angeles. How does the Affordable Care Bill work when you are unemployed and Cobra and unemployment insurance has run out? I have a pre-existing condition, and I have yet to find employment still.
Okay, so you will definitely fall under the federal poverty level, which means that you make less than $16,000 for a year. So you will be able to get health care coverage under Medi-Cal. So what you would do is to go into the marketplace, and if you go to Covered California, you know there's a calculator on the website, and so you will be able to get full coverage under Medi-Cal. And when you become employed, then your employer then will provide that health care. Or again, you could go into the marketplace and buy and select the health coverage that you want, but you will not be discriminated because of a previous health condition.
Thank you for clarifying that, Marie. Our next question is coming in from Long Beach. I am confused as to who is going to have to shop at the marketplace. Is it small business owners or individuals? If my employer is now going to offer health care, do I have to go into the marketplace and get it myself?
Yes, you can go into the marketplace and purchase the insurance on your own. And again, based on your income, based on the income, you will the coverage you will purchase is based on your income. So yes, if your employer do not provide health care because they have, let's say they have 30 employees, then you will have to go into the healthcare market and purchase your own. But if you're a single person with a child, a family, let's say of 3, 1 adult, 2 children, and you're making maybe less than $16,000 a year, like I said before, Medi-Cal, you will be covered under Medi-Cal, and the cost of that will be free to you. There's a lot of subsidies within this program, but again, it all depends on your income. But again, it's not all states that were elected or to expand. Some states did not expand their Medicare. So if you're in a state I know California expanded Medicare, so which means that if you make under $16,000, you will be able to get full coverage on the Medicare, where your cost will be very, very low.
Great. And just to clarify, what exactly is Medi-Cal and Medicare, and what are the differences between them?
Well, they're all government health care provider for people making less, for senior citizens and individuals making less than $16,000 a year.
Okay, and we have the same caller from Long Beach asking if their employer is offering health care now, does this person have to go to the market and purchase insurance still?
Are you saying if they have insurance now?
Yes.
Well, if they have insurance now, they can go to the marketplace and compare what they have now versus what's out there. So take, for instance, they may have Blue Cross of California, but they may want to get to Valley Health Plan or some other health plan. They may decide to look around and see what's best for them.
Great, thank you for that. What are some of the different coverage levels for these programs?
Well, it all depends on they all provide full health care service, which means that whatever services that you need, all of the healthcare providers, of course, the cost is different based on how much you earn, but it's all full coverage.
Great, thank you for that. What would someone have to do in order to be eligible for some cost-sharing subsidies?
When you say cost-sharing subsidies, if you're an employer and you provide health care to your employees, you get a tax break of up to 50% by 2014 from the IRS, for the benefits that you provide. I don't know if that answers the question.
I think that's pretty clear. Okay, we have a question coming in from Taurus, and this one is a little controversial. Someone is asking you your thoughts on the government shutdown regarding this healthcare plan.
Well, it is really strange because, I will just focus on what we have today. Millions of Americans are now able to take care of their health, to get the kind of health insurance that they did not have before. This is something that the president ran on when he was reelected in 2012. He ran on that, and this is something that the Supreme Court have deemed law. So, it's kind of difficult, but we're talking about health care for the American public that the majority of Americans voted on, and the Supreme Court deemed that it is law of the land. And, it's kind of interesting because when we speak of the affordable health care and on the Obamacare, most people are opposed, or the people that are against the health care, they are all for the affordable health care plan, but they're all against Obamacare. It's kind of interesting because one have been demonized, the Obamacare have been demonized, while the affordable health care is what Americans want. But they're the same. Obamacare and the affordable health care is the same. And if you go on our website, you will see a spoof that one of the comedian did on the affordable health care and the Obamacare.
Yes, I think most people are curious about the Affordable Care Act, yet they already have a stigma for Obamacare because of all the negative coverage that certain agencies are providing for that.
Yeah, it has been demonized in the media. This is why most individuals really don't know the difference between. There is no difference. It's identical, but one has been demonized by a very small minority.
Okay, now there's a lot of buzz going around in terms of the marketplace being overcrowded, the site is not very friendly, or it's very hard for people to navigate through in order to get some sort of coverage. Are there other agencies that will be able to help provide these services instead of going online?
Well, through Covered California, there are certified consultants like myself that is able to guide and help individuals or small business through the process. So which means that if a small business want more one-on-one, they can always give me a call as a certified counselor. They can give me a call and I can sit down with them and go through the marketplace and how they can purchase the coverage in the marketplace, and that is for small business or the individual.
Okay. Is the marketplace already opened, and what is the website?
It is open for business. It went online on October 1, and because of the millions of people that went online to register or to get information, like everything else, it crashed the system. But it's online, and anyone could go into the marketplace today and get the coverage needed. And again, they can go to coveredcalifornia.org and get all the information they need from the website.
We have another question.
It's coveredcalifornia.org.
We have another question coming in from Los Angeles. I am self-employed and currently have no health insurance. I know I am required to purchase through the marketplace. I've looked at my premium, and although the premium is based on my income, I still cannot afford the monthly premium. Are there any alternatives? The Affordable Health Care Act implies affordability, but based on my premium, I have to disagree. Thoughts, please.
Again, it is based on your income. But if you're saying that based on your income, you still cannot afford health care, then you will be penalized in your 2014 taxes. And individuals can make that choice if they deem that if you're making $75,000 and you think that your premium is too high, I would recommend that either A, you give me a call and I can sit down with you one-on-one. I can talk to you online and give you some guidance as to how you can probably benefit from the marketplace.
Okay, here's another question. I have health insurance through my employer, but coverage for my spouse and child are too expensive. Would I be eligible for assistance?
Repeat the question again.
I have health insurance through my employer, but coverage for my spouse and child are too expensive. Would I be eligible for assistance?
Definitely. Again, dependent on your income, you might be able to get coverage for your child through Medi-Cal.
Now, what is considered
Now
annual?
let me go back. Let me go
okay.
back again. If you're making, let's say, somewhere around 32,000 for a family of 4 in 2013, you will be able to get coverage under Medi-Cal, because then, of course, based on the federal poverty level, you will qualify for Medi-Cal.
Okay. Now, what exactly is considered annual income?
The annual income for one individual, it's 15,000. Let's say 16,000 or less, and for a family of 4, it's 32,000 or less. So if you have a family of 4 and you earning less than 32,000 a year, definitely you will qualify for Medicare or Medicare.
Now, what if, with this economy the way that it is, what if someone's income changes during the course of the year?
If for whatever reason you hadn't had employment, and for whatever reason you become unemployed, then your coverage will still remain the same under the new Health Care Act. So you would not lose your coverage because you're unemployed. And if you're unemployed, then you can get coverage in the marketplace on the Medi-Cal.
Now, there are some programs within medical assistance that were granted immediate funding, correct? What are some of those programs?
Say that again, please.
There were some programs that were granted immediate care or funding for certain specific programs. So what were some of those programs that were effective immediately once the bill was passed?
Well, once the bill is passed, the plan does not go into effect until 2014. So what you're doing right now is to purchase your insurance, and it takes effect 2014. So some of the things that you can, like high blood pressure, some of the basic health care needs that went into effect immediately, but the insurance that you're purchasing today, it takes effect in 2014.
I've heard from other people that certain things have been subsidized already for immediate health and coverage, such as reproductive health. Is that correct?
Such as what?
Such as reproductive health.
There are clinics around the state that one can go to and get those basic healthcare needs today. And those offices or those facilities are funded by the federal government. Yes, you can if you can find those clinics, you can definitely get those services. But the services that you're purchasing today is for 2014.
What are some of the documents that are going to be necessary to be enrolled in healthcare programs such as Cover California?
Okay, you need to be American citizen or have legal residence in this country. So which means that if you are here illegally, you will not be able to, and I can always verify that, but you must be here legally to take advantage of the health care plan.
Okay.
Any illegal immigrants will not be able to participate in this health care plan.
Okay, here's another question coming from Santa Ana. I currently have health insurance through my employer, but would like to switch to the marketplace because my premium will be cheaper. will my family and I be able to continue seeing our same physicians and specialists? And this is important because my child has disability, and it's important that he receive the same treatment from the same specialist.
Definitely. That's a perfect win-win situation because now you can compare the coverage. You can go to HealthNet, you can go to Kaiser, you can go to Blue Cross of California. You can now compare the rates and the coverage. And no longer will you be discriminated against because of a pre-existing condition. You can now shop around for the best care. And so your case, you are in a better position today that you will be in a better position in 2014 than you are today, because you have all of these options now that you can take advantage of.
Great. Do we have any more questions out there this morning? I believe that concludes our question and answer portion. Thank you so much for the presentation this morning, Marie. It's been really informative in terms of some of the new programs available. And once again, thank you from Wealth Management Financial Advisors. My name is Lourdes Macavinta. You can register for our series of webinars via the website www.wealthmanagementlb.com. Thank you, Marie.
Thank you, Lourdes, and thanks again for taking this time to participate in our webinar.